A Jeffersonville woman accused in the death of a baby at her in-home daycare appeared in court for the first time just a few hours ago.
WDRB's Addie Shaney explains why it's taken 2 years for any movement in the case.
Brittany Baylor, the woman accused of killing a 6-month-old baby, appeared in the Clark County courthouse behind me for the first time today. July 6, 2022 was the first time Eris Edmondson's parents took him to daycare, according to the family's attorney.
The next thing they know, that they're getting a call that he's dead.
Brittany Baylor's in-home daycare on Red Hawk Ridge in Jeffersonville is the last place Eris's parents saw their 6-month-old son alive. Around noon that day, Baylor sent the baby's mother a photo of him awake. Baylor's next text said there was an emergency and the baby was at the hospital. Baylor told police she woke up Eris from his nap and he started coughing, throwing up, and went limp. She performed CPR and called police. Eris died at Norton Children's Hospital later that day. Kelly Roan is Baylor's next-door neighbor.
This really surprises me because they really seem like nice people to me.
He says he saw children as young as 7 months old leaving her daycare a couple of days ago.
From what I understood, this was all an accidental death.
This was not a licensed daycare, but there is not a requirement that there be a license for a daycare if the person watching the children is watching under a certain number of children.
Prosecutors say they were unable to file the charges until almost 2 years later because they were waiting on a report from Norton Children's Hospital's Pediatric Protective Services.
We filed the charges within days of receiving that.
An official with Norton Children's told WDRB they refer any information about the length of time to the prosecutor's office. The report found the baby died from a head injury caused by an assault. Court documents show while Jeffersonville police were trying to render aid, an officer dropped the baby. Baylor's attorney says this shows his client should be released without paying bond.
The Jeffersonville police came in, took over administering CPR from Miss Baylor, who was administering that, and dropped the child.
Court documents show a doctor with the Kentucky Medical Examiner's Office watched the police body camera footage and said the extent of Eris's injuries could not have been caused by the officer. Instead, the injuries were consistent with a drop from a 2-story window. Baylor faces charges of neglect and battery. Brittany, what's your message to the family? Baylor's being held on $1 million bond and is not allowed to babysit any children. With photojournalist Emily Evans, Addie Shaney, WDRB News.